Good morning, everyone. The topic which I'll be dealing today is ethics in relation to adapting the host country's culture, issues relating negotiators and gift giving. The first topic which I'll be dealing is ethics in relation to adapting the host country's culture. Culture are the accepted norms and values and traditional behavior of a group. It evolves over a time. The culture of each country differs because of their various beliefs and attitudes. Culture is a key component in a business and which has an impact on the strategic business. Business culture is related to business ethics, etiquette, and more. A business culture will encompass an organization's values, visions, working style, beliefs, and habit, whereas host country is a nation in which representatives or organization of another state are present because of government invitation or international agreement. It is very essential for an organization to adapt and learn about host country's culture. The host country's culture will help us to relate to the people in a meaningful way and understand the reasons why things are and why are they in the way they are, and will help you to understand the overall cultural adjustment to the country. When we cross a nation, the boundaries, the moral clarity often blurs. Without a backdrop of shared attitudes and without familiar laws and judicial procedures that define standards of ethical conduct, certainty is elusive. According to cultural relativism, no culture ethics are better than any others. Therefore, there are no international rights and international wrongs. The cultural relativist creed, when in Roman do as Romans do, is tempting, especially when failing to do as the locals do means forfeiting the business opportunity. At the other end of the spectrum, from cultural relativism, is ethical imperialism, which direct people to do exactly what they do at their home. The theory behind the ethical imperialism is absolutism, which is based on the three principles. The first principle clashes with many beliefs that different cultural traditions and the family organizations believe. In some cultures, loyalty to a community, family, or organization or city or society is the foundation of all ethical behavior. In Japan, the Japanese define business ethics in terms of loyalty, whereas in US that's not the case. The second problem with absolutism is the presumption that people must express moral truth using only one set of concepts. And the third problem with absolutism is the belief in a global standard of ethical behavior. Context must shape ethical practices. Example, very low wages is treated as unethical in the highly developed countries, whereas very low wages is not treated unethical in the developing countries. When cultures have different standards of ethical behavior and different ways of handling the unethical behavior, a company that takes an absolute approach may find it difficult. Companies cannot operate in the culture without being aware of the host country's culture attitudes. The companies to adopt the host country's culture are guided with the three principles. The first principle is respect for the core human values, which determine the absolute moral threshold for all business activities. And the second one is respect for the local traditions. And the third is the belief that context matters, what deciding what is wrong and what is right. And the second topic which I'll be dealing today is negotiation. What is negotiation? In the present scenario, the impact of international business in domestic markets compels us to ask a question: how can we survive in this global playing field, and what can we do to run our business more effectively? Nowadays, business of all sizes search for suppliers and customers on a global level. The increasingly global business environment requires manager to approach the negotiation process from the global business person's point of view. Some of the components of a cross-cultural negotiation process are more complex and difficult, but will increase our success in avoiding the barriers and failures in the international business arena. The issues relating to negotiation due to the culture are: the first one is the negotiating goal. Negotiators from different cultures may tend to view the purpose of negotiation differently. For deal makers, for some cultures, the goal of a business negotiation, the first and foremost, is to sign a contract, whereas the people from the other culture tend to consider that the goal of the negotiation is to build a strong relationship. The second one is negotiating attitude. Because of difference in culture and personality or both, business person appears to approach deal making with one of the two basic attitudes: that a negotiation is either a process which both can gain or a struggle in which one either wins and the other loses. And the third one is the personal style. The personal style concerns the way a negotiator talks to others, uses titles, dresses, speaks, and interacts with other person. A negotiator can have a formal way and an informal style. And then the last point is the communication. Methods of communication vary among cultures. Some emphasize direct and simple methods of communication, whereas others have heavily on indirect and the complex method. Whereas in the direct method, the response is very clear and definite, whereas in the indirect method, the response is very vague. And the last topic which I'll be dealing today is ethical standards in gift giving. Gift giving is an integral part of both international and domestic business. It is a means of promoting one's product and services by strengthening the relationship with the clients. Executive dealings with international clients generally face an increasingly complex situation related to the issue of business gift giving. It may lead to many problems, ranging from minor embarrassment to failure in securing business if the concept is not properly understood. Ethical relativism may be used to understand the issue of the gift giving in different cultures. In some cultures, business gifts are accepted and they are highly appreciated, where this is not the case in the other cultures. The high context cultures reportedly tend to view the gift giving as an important social obligation and a meaningful activity, whereas in the low context cultures it is optional activity. In fact, in some countries people do not feel comfortable accepting the gifts because they do not like being obliged. Legal restrictions relating to gift giving are more stringent and numerous in low context cultures than high context culture. Expensive business gifts of high value are discouraged in low context culture and are usually not accepted by the executives, whereas in some countries, gift giving are perceived as bribe. Thank you, and the next topic will be continued by Selina.